great, isn't it? That they're having this South Orange Maplewood Art Walk. I love it. Really lots of neighbors stuff, right? It's a lot of work. It's great. My parents are so good, right?
Yeah, it's really great. I love it.
So I'm here with April Tracy, and we are looking at another one of her fabulous paintings.
Actually, just to correct you a little bit, Dee, they're photographs.
Photographs? I would have never thought they're photographs.
A lot of people have commented that they look like paintings, but they're actually photographs.
I can't believe that.
Yeah, so it is a photographic process, but because they are painterly-like, often I will print them on canvas.
I love it. I heard a little rumor, something about a feather duster, that was utilized in this painting. Oops, photograph. Can you tell me the story?
Well, the feather duster this is the surface that the feather duster was on.
It's amazing.
So we don't necessarily see that feather duster anymore, but we see the light traveling through the feather duster. Hence, this body of work was called Photo, relating to light. And it's all about not just physical light transferring through objects, but also more of a spiritual light, or the light of it, my interpretation of what consciousness might look like.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, April.
Thank you.
I'm sure I'm going to see a lot of red dots on all of this work here. Lots of red dots. Oops, I see one right there.
There's one.
Look,
It's appearing.
Brilliant. Okay, and now we're going to meet some more artists here at the South Orange Maplewood Art Walk. I am standing here with Mr. and Mrs. Bain, true supporters of art in South Orange and Maplewood. You told me that several years ago you bought some pieces from an artist who showed here at the South Orange Maplewood Art Walk. And can you tell me a little bit about that?
Sure. Let's see, we bought
We got a few pieces.
2 or 3 pieces from a photographer of the name of Joy, and we have several of hers. We first put some of them in our house here, and then we had a condo in Washington, and we put some up there, but we're moving out of that condo, so we're moving them all to
Yes.
South Orange, where they originated.
Yes, wonderful. And these are photographs of what? Of
Various things. Our favorite piece, I think, is the owl,
yes.
who just looks at you with great wisdom.
Yes, I know Joy Yagget's work very well, and she is a wonderful artist.
No matter where you stand, the owl is looking at you.
The owl is looking at you, Joy. Listen, I think it's so wonderful that you support the arts like that. And what did you think of the art walk this year?
We enjoyed it very much. We saw a number of pieces that were really just delightful, such vibrant colors and lines that really intrigue you, and it just was a great occasion.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Baines, thank you so much for supporting the arts.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you for this interview.
Thank you.
So, Sybil, I'm very excited because I heard that you're going to give us a demonstration on how to do these wonderful prints a little bit later.
Yes,
if that's
looking
possible.
forward to that.
But first of all, that painting is just so moving. And can you tell me a little bit about it?
Sure. All of my work for the past couple of years has been about this dark figure that's in the background, and this painting is a self-portrait, and it's about dealing with illness. And so this panel is the past, and this dark figure is sort of like the fear and the pain. And in this panel, this is the acceptance, and the figure has shrunk. This panel is like the joyfulness of the present moment. But once I got this figure shrunk, I started to make all of these monotypes, and I was clutching, all the figures were clutching this dark figure, and then at a certain point, the figure started to turn light. So like in this one, the figure started to turn light, and then I realized it was time that, first of all, I realized that the figure not only represented that pain and the fear, but it also represented that part of the self that's not really, you don't really know.
Sybil, in the high school, there are students who are actually a part of the South Orange Maplewood Art Walk.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, when you were in high school, did you have this creative bug? Did you know that you were going to be doing art?
I was an artist since I was 3, and I never have stopped ever, and I couldn't stop. I would die. Literally, it keeps me alive, and a lot of the symbols that I have in my work emerged when I was young, and they just carry through. They're just something that's embedded in me.
Spoken like a true artist. Thank you so much for sharing with us, and I'm hoping to do a little bit of photographing your demonstration on how you do some of these wonderful prints.
That's what I'm looking
Okay,
forward to.
thank you. I'm here with artist Debbie Marquette, and Debbie, I just had a couple of questions. Is this what you would call a mixed media work of art?
It's certainly mixed. It's mostly wood. It begins from some cut-offs. Sometimes in my studio I do furniture also, and sometimes cut-offs are laying on the floor. I see an interesting design, which is just a found design, and it starts from there. And I try to preserve that composition and then build up from there. When I get to the upper layers, I'm generally cutting all the pieces and painting some of them in advance. Painting some of them on the board.
It's like a wooden montage.
Yeah, a lot of people have said a collage, a wooden collage. Because it's like just taking the pieces and gluing them together. Lately I've been getting really more into the depth.
And how much would a piece like this cost, if someone was to purchase something like this?
It's about, this one is $1,400.
Okay, not bad, really,
Well,
all the work.
it's a tremendous amount of time.
Yes, a lot of materials.
Well, the materials aren't as significant as the time. Because it's mostly plywood actually, and then some veneers and others, but I generally tend to work pretty rough, and so the materials are not that important. I don't have to have perfect surfaces or anything like that, but so the materials are not so much as the cost of my studio.
Yes, of
And my
course.
time.
And where is your studio located?
It's in Manufacturers Village in East Orange.
Oh yes, I've heard about
Yes,
that. I've heard about
it's
that.
with the Franklin Street Studio.
Sure, excellent. All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing.
Yes, thank
And
you.
we'll look forward to seeing more of your work at the next
Yes.
South Orange Maplewood
Yes,
Art Walk.
next year I'll be here.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So Sybil, how do you do what you're doing? Oh my, it's so dark. Wow. Wow. Edgar Allan Poe would be very proud, right? Edgar Allan Poe. Very gothic.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. It's fantastic. Yes. You must sign it and put a number on it or something. Okay. 'Cause
Okay, well,
it's wonderful.
With the monotype, you can only get one print.
okay.
It's different than etching, where you can make a whole series.
Wow.
Each one is one of a kind.
Wow, it's original. I have a feeling my cameraman's going to buy this one. Wonderful. Thank you so much for the
I've got
demonstration.
ink, So your elbow.
Okay, all right, sounds good. Thank you again,
Thank you
Sybil.
so much.
Thank you very much.
I think it's just nonstop, so it's almost like they're flowing through.
Here I am with the artist, April Tracy. You just saw one of her new paintings that she's showing for the first time here at the Art Walk. And April, tell me about your art, your work, your life. Tell me all.
Okay. Firstly, as a visual artist, I create one body of work a year, and most of the time it's in my head. And then show crunch time, it comes out and it emerges. I am a trained printmaker, so I've been going back to my earlier roots of using photography to create a lot of my imagery. This recent work, it's a sneak peek. It's not the entire body of work, but it's a sneak peek for a show that I'm going to present this fall at the Valley Arts District Firehouse, and it's called Goodbye, Sweetheart. And basically it's depicting feelings of how I would describe the notion of goodbye, sweetheart.
You know, I was just going to ask you what inspires you to do these fantastic works. They're so ethereal, they're so light, they're so airy and beautiful.
Basically, there's always something that triggers the body of work. And this particular body of work was triggered by the last moment that I saw my mother. And I didn't realize my mother was in good health. I didn't realize that this was the last time that I would see her. And she held my face with her hands and looked intently into my eyes and said, "Goodbye, sweetheart." And as normal, "Oh, goodbye,
Yes.
Mom, kiss,
Yes.
kiss," and off you go. Little did I realize that was the last time that I saw my mother. And so initially when I thought of this body of work, I wanted to capture the feeling or the essence of not knowing, not cluing into a moment that was absolutely imperative. It was this moment that how could I have missed that? And so as a visual artist, I always try to create things visually that are non-physical. But over the course of the year, as I work and think about this body of work, I think about that I'm saying goodbye to something more than just that moment. And it's goodbye to the little girl inside of me that once existed.
That's wonderful.
So those are the kinds of journeys that I go on when I create a body of work. It starts as a concept and it develops into something so much more.
The artist's journey. Okay,
Definitely.
excellent. Thank you, April, for sharing with us. And now when I look at your paintings, I'm going to know a little bit more about what you feel in your heart. It's beautiful, very beautiful. Thank you.
And thank you, Dee.
All right, let's see
you.
some more of your stuff.
But the thing about West Orange is, well, having done the whole Maplewood South Orange Village thing, there's no center like West.
It's not hard, yeah. Questions about the gallery were-
Oh, sure, yeah, I love to see
Bridget.
exploring right now.
I know exactly.
So I'm sitting here with my new found artist friends, and I heard that there is something very special in their pockets. Can I see? And what is this all about?
Our friend, an artist from next door, came over this morning before we got started and brought us crystals, which are said to contain the power for creative energy. And so she wanted to wish us all good luck and give us all the power we needed to continue in our creative process.
Now this artist is right next door, a couple of houses down?
Couple of houses down.
Wonderful. And her
work
name
is
is?
fabulous.
Yeah?
Her name is?
Wesley Goldman.
Wesley Goldman.
No,
Okay.
Leslie.
Leslie Goldman. Okay, Leslie Goldman. Leslie
And
Goldman.
she's awesome.
Maybe I can get a stone. I need some creative energy too. Thank you. All right, let's go see Leslie. Yes. Debbie, as I was leaving the gallery, I could not believe what I saw in this tree. And this is your work.
Yes, more of the wood, I guess, collage montage as we were talking
Yes.
about.
Tell me. Whoa, it's brilliant. Is this out here all the time?
No, I just bring it over to Sybil. Well, they probably will be here for a little while, but no, it's just for the show.
I think we need more outdoor art in South Orange, Maplewood.
I know. I envisioned them what they would look like in a really tall tree, and with more of them. And these are the only 3 I've made so far.
And once again, these are using pieces from the furniture that you create.
Well, sometimes this one in particular, that I got the first idea from that one because there was a certain shape when I had cut it out for something else, and I saw the shape reminded me of a bird, and so it just started.
It just came.
And I just started sticking things on at random, really, but very loose, because you'll see that nothing looks like a feather. But just putting it all together and just kind of composing a bird, and then using just about every medium, paint, caulk, all kinds of markers, grease pencil, paint, oil paint, acrylic paint, pencil, and just kind of going to town on it.
I love it. I love it. And I want to see more art and outdoor spaces in South Orange and Maplewood. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Right. You're with our tour?
No, I just hang around.
No, I thought you were one of the artists. You just called us.
I'm here with the artist Leslie Goldman, and I just want to read a little bit about what you have written about the work that we're going to see in your little gallery space. Miracles are everywhere. It is my mission to remind you. I believe our purpose is to share our gifts. My gift is an ability to create things. And I have to say, you have definitely created some beautiful, beautiful pieces of work. My goal is to create things that will help you to remember and reconnect to the joy and wonder of seeing all things as miraculous. Let me help you cultivate joy and abundance. Be bold, confident, curious, and grateful. Be the bright star of your story. Live the life you want. Oh, so beautiful.
I know, it gives me chills even
It
listening
does.
to
It
you
really
read that.
does. So tell me a little bit about, well, I guess I know where this comes from, these fantastic paintings, but tell me a little bit about how you work creatively. Where does this come from?
I have a practice. I sit in my orange chair and I meditate, and I have a gratitude journal every day, and I cultivate joy, and I do some incense burning and singing bowl playing, and I just try to connect to something greater. And then I approach the canvas with joy. I usually have some music going that's very uplifting. The Farm series I did on Spotify, I played every version of On the Sunny Side of the Street, and I was singing and painting and trying to just put all of my love into the painting. And that's what I do. I also do some chakra balancing, and that's why the edges are the colors of the chakras. And I always have the crystals. I gave some crystals to my friends at the street.
I saw those crystals.
Yes, the citrine is for really cultivating creative joy. And then I have my sterilite, which protects you from some negative energy, just in case there was any of that coming through today. There was absolutely not. It was all a wonderful group of people on this tour. Really exciting. Our community is wonderful.
It is wonderful, and I'm so glad that they do this. I was going to ask you about this little room here with all these wonderful windows. The light is so fantastic in here. Tell me about this. I see a lot of these little antechamber rooms in Maplewood and South Orange.
This room is in a lot of the houses have a room like this, and it's called the Maplewood room.
The Maplewood room is actually named after Maplewood.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And
it's a side room, and it's often they call it the sun room, or they use it as a sun porch, but it's a great space for an artist because they're always lined with windows, and it's just a brilliant extra little secret wonderful space
I
to
have to say, the light is fantastic in here. It's just truly beautiful. Would you like to share anything else about your creative process? Or, for example, if I was to purchase, let's say, this beautiful painting of a flower, what would a painting like this cost?
The smaller paintings are all right now going for $850.
Okay.
And except this one is less expensive. I think that one's $550. But the rest of them have crystals right in the paintings. Like this one has mica, and this one has citrine.
They have crystals in there. Wow, that's wonderful.
Which are healing and
Wow.
uplifting. So
Ah.
that's part of the process.
Wow, you put crystals in.
My husband passed away a number of years, about 5 years ago now, and I was in a very dark place for a long time. And the only thing that changed was when I realized that I had to choose to be happy. And so at that point I started cultivating all these practices to reconnect. And so that's why I meditate and I gratitude journal and I create. I create. And I try to connect to something bigger, and I try to focus on the joy and abundance that is there for all of us, and I'm very grateful.
And your paintings definitely do give us joy. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for letting us into your studio space, and I want to see more.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
High School Musical, like
You know, as I came in, so no, save it all. Students at Columbia High School in the TV production department, Addison, which was wonderful, and also I taught Coltrane. Coltrane, two very talented students, and I was wondering, when you were in high school, did you feel that creative energy? Were you an artist?
Oh yeah, I started painting when I was 7. And when I was in high school, and I studied with local artists, and by the time I was in high school, I was like, really had honed my craft quite a bit. And so I painted and I drew and I participated in a lot of the high school arts. And then I went on to Parsons School of Design.
Wow, that's a great school,
Yeah.
Parsons. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right.
And I had great art teachers in high school that were fun and encouraging, and art is a wonderful way to express yourself and
It is.
connect.
It truly is. It truly is.
Let's talk about Verve. I learned a little bit about Verve when I actually took a course to learn about the AP Studio Art, teaching the AP Studio Art. And basically it means creative enthusiasm. How do you show your spirit and your vitality in a work of art? I mean, when someone's looking at your art and they feel that spirit and that enthusiasm, then you know you've got some verve. The exciting thing here in this room is that all of the students approach their work very differently, and what we're really proudest about is the variety of approaches to any given assignment or work of art.
Excellent. So Sophia, how did it feel to be a part of the South Orange Maplewood Artist Studio Tour? Did you have a lot of people coming into the gallery?
Yeah, there were a lot of people coming in. It was pretty cool because I got to share my art with a larger audience, and I got a lot of reactions and people, you know, coming in and seeing someone just staring at my work and thinking about it. That was really cool because it was like I was able to get that message out to people.
Excellent. And you know, I think I saw some red dots here. Did I see any red dots? Anyway, you deserve some red dots. Your art is fantastic. And I want to thank you very much for this interview. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
This is an installation by Franny Levy. We've got a video projection. There's sound and mirrors and lights. And this was a very popular spot during the studio tour. This is the work of Emily Glynn, who's a senior here, about to go to Savannah College of Art and Design. Her concentration had to do with portraiture, and a lot of the pieces you see here are friends, well, herself as well as some of her friends. This is the work of Luz Aguba, who is going to be going off to Virginia Commonwealth University to study fashion design, and she created these pieces during this school year for her concentration. This is the work of Turner Andras, who is a junior this year. He'll be a senior in the AP Studio Art. He's also a Silver Medal National Award winner of the Scholastic Art and Writing Awards.